So I'm a singer-songwriter. My name is Shayok Banerjee. I've been a singer-songwriter for the longest time and a performer. And
Great.
then I got into teaching, and I've been teaching IB Music,
Great.
secondary school,
Mhm.
specializing in secondary school for the last 10 years, 9 to 10 years.
Oh,
But yeah, I continue to be an independent singer-songwriter, and I produce my own music, and I'm pretty active with that performer side of me.
okay.
And I think that helps me a lot in teaching as well,
Mhm.
because students get directly inspired when they see a performer in front
Yes,
of them.
yes, yes.
It's very easy to communicate that way.
Yes, correct, correct, sir.
So when I become a performer and then a teacher to
Yes,
the students, I feel it's a very direct communication, heart to heart kind of communication.
exactly, exactly.
So yeah, so that's my background, and I'm formally trained in Indian classical vocal music, North Indian,
Okay.
Hindustani, and I have like while in school, we formed our band, rock band,
Okay.
and we wrote our own songs in Bengali.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm from Kolkata,
Yeah.
and the album got pretty popular, and then we started touring, we started doing live concerts, and this was
Ah,
all when I was in, let's say, grade 11, 12.
oh, great.
So the band got popular, and then I was learning Indian classical, so I left the band, and then I kept on learning Indian classical. Then I
Mhm.
taught myself guitar.
Oh, okay.
Then I was also listening to a lot of Western forms of music, rock, pop, blues, jazz, introduced to all that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so that's how my journey started with, doing independent music,
Mm-hmm.
different genres. So I have had bands where I have sung Indian classical. I have bands where I've sung rock in
Okay.
English and Bangla. And yeah, I love being on stage.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a very important part of me.
Okay.
So yeah, so and then teaching happened when I was in Mumbai,
Ji.
and working as a freelance musician.
Mm-hmm.
I have done a lot of work in advertising. I've done playback for feature films,
Mm-hmm.
and I've done a lot of live concerts, which I love doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, and then when I discovered that I can make a lovely connection with children, with young people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, I'm a father to a 7 year old daughter.
Great.
And yeah, so teaching has kind of grown with me
Mm-hmm.
as I have, continued my journey as a musician. And it didn't happen by plan, but rather by, following the heart.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with students now.
That's great. So thanks a lot for
I'm
sharing about.
currently working in China, in Zhuhai.
Okay.
And there's a lovely part of China, south of China, very close to Hong Kong.
So you are living there, sir.
Yes, yes, for the past 2 years.
Okay. So right now you are there, right?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
great, great, great. Fine. So thanks a lot for sharing yourself, sir. The first thing which I want to ask you, sir, what do you think? Why should we teach music to students? Students, I mean students who are studying in schools or colleges.
Okay. Yeah, the school level. I think it's a very important skill. I mean, not just in, a lot of people say it relieves stress, and it, you can lose yourself,
Hmm.
you can relax. I would rather say it's a great way of expressing yourself emotionally. It's a great way of communicating.
Yeah.
Because words become much more powerful when they are musical.
Hmm.
And I think it along with a lot of other things. Of course, it improves your memory, it improves your cognitive skills, and there's a lot of scientific terms you can use. But
Hmm.
I think as a musician, I mean, as a human being, it's very important to express yourself, and music is a wonderful way of doing it.
Okay.
So if you are able to find your voice, your style, and I think you can pretty much express any emotion, any feeling, and it makes you happy.
Yeah.
Something that makes you happy definitely needs to be learned.
Right, right, right.
So it can make you happy, it can make you sad whenever you want.
Hmm.
at any point of time.
Correct.
So I think it's basic. It's the rhythm of life. It's rhythm and melody of life. It's and now that I am also a father, I feel I can see and observe my daughter also enjoying music.
Right, right.
And she, in fact, kind of recommends me songs, and I,
Okay.
through her, I get to know what the young generation,
Mm-hmm.
what the teens are listening to. So that also keeps me updated, and it's a good way because
Great.
the music I really like and grown up to is now old to them.
Yeah, exactly,
So,
exactly.
but yeah, I mean, as a teacher and both as a musician and artist, I think it's very important to stay updated with the new music that's coming up
Mm-hmm.
by new artists. So, yeah.
Okay. So now, when you were answering this, you used a word brain development, cognitive development. As you are a
Mhm.
father of a 7-year-old daughter, so on the same thing, I would like to ask you, sir. Like, do you think that when kids are introduced with either vocals, I mean, learning vocals, learning instrument, or any kind of art, I'm not specifically focusing right now on music, any kind of art. So their brain development is on a different level comparatively to those kids who are not involved in learning these kind of special skills.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it's much faster and more. I mean, as far as I have read, and researchers have proved that it lights up different areas of your brain,
Right.
and connects them, interconnects them. They light up undiscovered or untouched areas of the brain, probably.
Mm.
And especially because the fact that any arts, not just music, but any form of arts, helps you recognize, identify patterns in
Right.
nature.
Yes.
And I think our brain is hardwired to patterns,
Yes. 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 Correct.
patterns and repetition of patterns. So music is also like that. It
Kind
also
of.
follows a structure. It has a meter,
Mm-hmm.
and it has a rhythm.
Right.
It's basically pattern being repeated and rearranged and then again repeated. Um, and all this helps the brain to identify structure,
Exactly.
the design of nature,
Mm.
and suit yourself, calibrate your emotions according to your surroundings.
Yes. Correct.
So yeah. So yeah, I mean, cognitive development I have personally seen is much faster than otherwise. If you're not listening to music, of course there could be exceptions,
Mm-hmm.
but generally I have seen students being much happier, more engaged
Mm-hmm.
when they are engaging with rhythm or melody, or
Mm-hmm.
just moving their fingers on the piano. They
Mm.
just feel free. They feel they are not obliged or held back by anything at
Correct.
that point of time.
Okay. So, sir.
Plus there's a lot of maths, lot of interdisciplinary connections with other subjects through music.
Yes.
And of course, in my school and in other schools, they have these IDUs. I teach the IB curriculum.
Yeah.
I've been teaching that for the last 9 years, and
Okay.
I love the curriculum. It's because it helps you. It's a very open-ended, inquiry-based curriculum.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it really teaches a student to ideate musical ideas
Mm.
and actually produce them and finish them, mix and master them, and learn how to promote them,
Okay.
all at the school level. So I think it's a wonderful way to prepare them for the future, for the digital future.
Okay. Great. Yeah. So, sir, when you started your musical journey, uh, so what was the first step? Like, you started from vocals, you started from the instrument, or you started
Yeah,
from.
yeah, vocals, because both my parents are singers. They're
Okay.
not trained singers as such, but they were always singing or humming in the house, and there was always music in the house. So I think singing then again came naturally to me.
Mm-hmm.
But then, of course, they encouraged me to train formally, and they instilled the value of practice,
Yeah.
of repeating practice
Mm.
um, as an art form. So yeah, so it started with singing, of course, and then I learned from different gurus at different points of time, and yeah, I mean, and there were the different genres of music from different time periods. Of course, Till I was in grade 8 or 9, I was not really exposed to Western forms of music.
Okay.
Before that, I was only listening to Indian music,
Mhm.
both classical and film music. You can't avoid film music being in India,
Right.
and it's lovely. And then then also I now when I teach, I feel being able to sing the correct pitches
Uh-huh.
uh, uh, is a very important skill. Being able to vocalize a tune,
Yeah.
it helps you learn music faster
Yes.
and develop your even your ear
Yes.
training
Yes. Yes.
is much faster if you can sing.
Yes. Correct.
So I mean, I know there are of course I have students who cannot sing at all.
Hmm.
Uh, but I tell them, don't be discouraged.
Right.
Try. Nowadays, we have these tuner apps,
Yes. Yes.
and I felt it helps a lot if they can see that, okay, yeah, I'm singing in tune,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
that as a practice, if you repeat,
Correct.
it sometimes helps you achieve the correct pitch. But
Yes.
of course, singing the correct pitch is not always the prerequisite. It's more about being able to feel that correct pitch
Yes.
and make it a part of your internalize
Hmm.
rhythm and melody in your body.
Mm-hmm.
So so singing helps a lot, and I feel as a singer and now a guitar player as well, I find a lot of ways to teach different versatile genres.
Right. So
So yeah, playing an instrument is learning an instrument and being able to sing. Both are, I think, very important skills for any student.
okay. So as you started your musical journey from vocals, now
Yes.
these days, like also we have three choices. I can say either the students can start from vocals, from instrument, as well as they can start from both. So as per you,
They
which
can
is the
start
best?
with both, as well as now the third option is music technology. Because even if you don't know how to play any instrument, you can still make music.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. So I think that itself, music technology itself is now an instrument,
Okay.
rather a tool to
Mhm.
express yourself.
So, as per you, if I'm putting one situation like the kids are new, like they are just 5, 6, 7 years old kids. So, what do you think? Which is the best way their parents should choose? Instrument, vocals, or they should go for the both?
I think for at that age, anything that comes naturally is fine. Just keep encouraging them. That could be just clapping or just body percussion,
Mhm.
just stomping your feet to a song, tapping with the pulse of any song. These are things that are very easily done and very they don't need any kind of facilitation or any equipment or anything. So at that age, vocals or instrument is not so important. It's more important to feel the rhythm, feel the melody, be able to imitate things, imitate melodies,
Okay.
be it singing or be it playing on an instrument, any instrument that you find.
Okay.
So yeah, at 5, 6 years of age, I think it's just great to just dance with music, maybe
Okay.
just feel the rhythm.
Mhm.
But yeah, as you grow older, maybe in grade 4 or 5 is a good time to kind of explore different instruments and be able to recognize that, okay, I like playing this
Okay.
instrument. I like the sound of this instrument. That is when I think, they can take a call.
So now, when the COVID situation came, like all over the world, this online education was very on boom. Music education,
Hmm.
learning instrument, learning keyboard, learning piano was also going on. So, what do you think, sir? As per you, like you started with guitar, you are playing still your guitar. So your choice was to start with the guitar. Now, as per you, which is the best instrument, or I can say, which is the easy instrument or good instrument to start for the young learners if they want to
I
start
think
with?
piano or keyboard. Or for young learners, I think recorder is very good.
Okay.
You can easily produce sound on the recorder. Recorder is great. Piano is great.
Mhm.
Even toy pianos are fine.
Okay.
Harmonica is good.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, considering ease of use or convenience, I would say piano because you
Okay.
just press on it and it makes a sound.
Correct.
So
So,
that way it's easier. Again, ukulele is also easy.
yeah. Right. So, sir,
Ukulele is good.
yeah, when you started learning vocals, so do you start Do you learn also how to read the notation?
Yes, of course, you need to, but I actually learned Western notation, staff notation a lot later when I started teaching. Before that, I could not read music. I
Okay.
could only read Indian classical notation.
Mm-hmm. So
So, and which is entirely different from staff notation.
exactly correct. So
But again, I would say it's not so important to be able to read music. Of course, it's an important skill. If you know how to read music, it helps you a lot in learning songs faster
correct.
compared to if you don't, if you
Mm-hmm.
don't know how to.
Okay.
So, but again, so many great artists, great musicians
Mm-hmm.
have uh, did not know how to read music, and that's fine.
Yes.
That's
Correct.
okay. I don't think it's like I don't think it's mandatory or must.
Okay. Great.
But it's great. It's good if you want to learn more. If it's good if you want to become a good musician.
Okay. So, like if there is one condition in front of you, we have two students, both are equally interested in music, or suppose they are learning guitar, but one is getting the opportunity to learn that staff notation and play, but other one is not getting that opportunity to learn notation and play. So, what do you think? Whose musical development will be better?
This is hard to say. This is hard to say because see again, when you're creating music,
Hmm.
do you really need to write music as in notation? No,
No,
you
no.
can directly record in a DAW
Yes,
and have the music recorded and listen instantly.
correct.
But if you need to share it with
Mhm.
someone and you're looking for session musicians to play
Yes,
on your song,
yes,
then you will need to be able to read music or write music. But
correct.
of course, now with the help of MuseScore and Noteflight and all these apps, I mean, reading music and writing music has become very easy.
Right, correct.
In fact, if you're recording MIDI tracks, you can just convert them to a
Rotations.
notation.
Yes,
There's just you with one click of a button.
yes.
So yeah, but learning will be faster. I don't know. I don't have any evidence to prove that.
Okay,
I would think they would go in different ways.
okay.
Just like two people think differently,
Mm-hmm.
they would also create differently.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So one would maybe study more songs and read that music and try to imitate that music.
Mm-hmm.
In which case, learning will probably be more in depth in terms of detailing, in
Mm-hmm.
terms of understanding harmony.
Mm-hmm.
But again, in terms of creativity, you never know.
Okay.
Like, you know, I mean, there are so, again, as I said, there are so many artists who have created great music without knowing how to read music.
Agree, sir.
But to be able to play others' music, to be able to play existing music, reading music is a very important skill.
Noted, sir.
But if you want to create your own music, you don't really need to be able to.
Correct, correct.
It's
Agree, sir.
fine.
Yeah.
Because I have seen this, and a lot of students are scared actually of, oh, music theory, or I don't understand theory.
Mm-hmm.
But if you teach them how to apply theory instantly,
Mm-hmm.
then they get it.
Okay.
Because it's yeah, 12 notes, right? So how complicated can it be? Yeah, of course, there are complicated levels of jazz harmony
Yes.
and tonal harmony and all that.
Mm.
But yeah, that is if you want to go into that depth.
Mm.
But if you know the basics of reading music, I think you can do a lot
Agree.
with just the basics.
Okay. So, sir, as you are an educator also now, so
Hmm.
there are sometimes few students also come up with you that because of studies or because of so and so situation they are feeling stress. So, what do you suggest to those particular students, or what particular kind of music do you suggest
For relieving stress,
for relieving stress?
well, there's lots of music. There's ambient music, there's piano music. I mean, you just type in sleep music or relaxation music on YouTube or Spotify, you get loads of playlists.
Right.
So, in terms of searching for information, students don't need help, but they really need guidance
Mm-hmm.
in understanding the style, being able to analyze the
Mm-hmm.
music, being able to give terms to certain musical elements.
Okay.
These are things they need guidance with, because even though you might search for it on ChatGPT,
Mhm.
it won't it won't really help you create that kind of music. For that, you have to go into the depth and understand how chords work, how the notes are working.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay. So may I know who is your favorite singer, sir?
there are lots. It's difficult to name a few. Um, uh, I love Hariharanji.
Okay.
Uh, I love Rahman's voice as well.
Mhm.
Arijit Singh, of course.
Mhm.
I love Tom York, Radiohead, Chris Cornell, Soundgarden, and then so many names, so many.
Okay. So as you were like formally trained in Indian classical, and later on you learned Western music, Western notation, Western music also. So on the same thing, I would like to ask you, sir, what similarities actually you see in both the styles, Indian classical and Western classical?
Similarities. I like that question because most people ask what are the differences, and they're pretty inevitable. Similarities, I would say jazz music actually has a lot of similarities in terms of, I mean, with Indian classical music,
Okay.
because I think the basic difference is a lot of Western forms of music you cannot improvise, but Indian music is
Hmm.
based on improvisation.
Okay.
So again, if you're talking about contemporary Indian music, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about classical music.
Pure Indian classical.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, jazz. I mean, the way modal jazz works.
Okay.
Mm, of course, there are modes
Hmm.
in Western music as well, which are kind of like how the Phrygian mode is the same as Rag Bhairav.
Okay.
So there are similar, like the Dorian scale is similar to Rag Yaman.
Okay.
So there are similarities. There are lots of similarities. The basic difference is harmony, the presence of harmony.
Mhm.
But I think, yeah, I mean, like, are you talking about the technicalities or just generally
Mm, no, we are not going
similarity in the sense of
it's,
what?
uh, general similarities, like in terms of singing, in terms of rhythm, in terms of counting, these things.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of counting, it's the same. There's the same time. Strongest similarity is the presence of 12 tones
Hmm.
in the notes.
Okay.
12 tones in a scale. Western music is based on 12 tones. Indian music is based on 12 tones. That itself gives a lot of similarity.
Hmm.
And yeah, uh, the fact that some rags can actually have diatonic chords and you can make chord progressions which allow the performance of different rags is again a area of similarity.
Mhm.
But the differences are more stark, I would say. Um, but nowadays I see so many nice experiments for with uh, Western and Indian classical music fusion.
Mhm.
uh, I love it. I love it.
Okay.
uh,
So yeah. Uh,
hmm.
Now, may I know like which is the most closest rag to your heart?
Closest rag.
Rag.
Oh, okay. I like Miyaki Malhar, Rag Des,
Mhm.
Darbari Kannada,
Okay.
Lalit.
There are a lot of. Can you just
Yeah,
name
there are
one?
so many rags. It's difficult to say. I mean, if I listen to a performance now of a rag, I may not like it tomorrow, but I like it now. So it
Yeah.
also depends on the mental state you are.
Okay. So for today, which is your favorite rag? I'm changing my question.
For also now it's evening, so Rag Yaman would be
Rag.
perfect. I
Great.
love Rag Yaman.
Mhm. Okay. So now in today's life, everybody is dealing with stress, whether they are like working professional, they are students, or they are like managing their home somewhere. So what
Mhm.
suggestion you want to give to those people who are working professional, they are uh, going 10 to 6, 10 to 9, how they can take help of music in their hectic
Mhm.
life so that they can maintain work life?
I've seen a lot of people generally, like when they're driving to work,
Mm-hmm.
they just put on some music in the car.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great way, I think, to not think of anything else, but just listen to the music while while you're traveling.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Again, I think on a weekend, create a playlist on Spotify or YouTube or whatever that app you use to listen to music, and create playlists for yourself.
Okay.
Like, okay, sad playlist. When I'm sad, I will listen to these songs. When
Correct.
I'm happy, I will listen to these songs.
Mm.
When I'm really stressed out, I'm gonna dance. I have to dance to, take out my frustration.
Mm.
So I think uh, now that Spotify has a lovely playlist curation, you
Mm.
can actually take advantage of that and create playlists that you would like. I mean, music that you love, could instantly change your mood, like food.
Yes.
If you have good food, it changes your mood, right? It
Mm.
makes
Right.
you
Right.
happy.
Right.
Music is also like that.
Correct.
So if you have, playlists for every mood,
Mm.
and you just turn it on and have some good food, I think you'll be the happiest person at that moment, even though you might be going through a very difficult phase in your life.
Mm. Correct. So.
But again, music brings in nostalgia and a lot of thoughts, childhood thoughts, school friends, and those nostalgic moments, and we love to relive those moments.
Yes. Correct.
So music helps bring those back, I think.
Okay.
Plus, it helps to socialize. This is one thing I missed saying, that I
Mm.
think in this era of mobile phones and students, we have faced that problem ourselves and a lot of schools with kids using mobile phones or devices, and how much should it be restricted, how much
Mm.
should be allowed. And I feel that yeah, I mean, this is a great way of them not using devices, and just, okay, now I'm not going to put my eyes to work. I will close my eyes and just listen to some music.
Mm. Right. I agree, sir.
So it's a great way to do that.
Okay. So the next thing which I want to know, sir, like as now you were telling about the current problem, the biggest problem on right now is devices, connection with
Hmm.
devices. Whatever we are doing, we have to look like right now we are doing a Zoom, so we have to look and we are doing. So what do you think?
Yeah, we have to use technology. No, I
Uh,
mean, I'm not saying don't use technology, but I would say minimize it as much as possible.
okay.
Because now we are talking, but let's say 5, 10 years down the line or 20 years down the line,
Mhm.
digital technology is here to stay. It's not going away.
Right, exactly.
So our kids have to learn to, maintain a balance.
Yes.
And I think taking it away from them is not the right way.
Mhm.
Rather, they should be taught or guided as to how you can use it to your benefit, and then keep it away.
Right. Great.
So if they learn to how to do that, and specify certain times in the day that they will use the device and other times they won't,
Mm.
they will start to see the difference.
Correct, 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 correct. Okay. So,
Also, I think a great way, we did this in one of the units, and we did a podcast with
uh,
students.
okay.
It's like a group discussion, and they are talking about the advantages and disadvantages of using devices and technology, overuse of technology.
Okay.
So one group is speaking for, group is speaking against.
Yeah.
As they were doing it and as they were researching it, they found themselves through proven research
Mm.
about the impact of too much screen use,
Mm-hmm.
and overuse of playing video games at night and not sleeping. And they were themselves discussing it. Yeah, I know. Like, for example, a student was saying, I know I'm playing video games a lot at night. I have to stop it. I found that it's not good.
Yeah.
My parents also said that. So now I have to believe it.
Correct.
It's funny how when you let students do the research and find things, they are then convinced, but if you tell them 100 times, they probably won't understand.
Correct. So,
Impact of self research is much, much more.
correct, 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 correct. So, So the last thing which I want to ask you, sir, you started as a performer and now you are into education also, right? So what
Mhm.
differences you are seeing in yourself when you were a performer, like when you are on the stage and when you are teaching kids?
Uh, uh, I miss being on stage because I'm traveling to different cities and different parts of the world, and you can't really do that as a musician. You have to stay somewhere and build your base,
Mm,
build your following. But the fact that I'm learning so much while I'm teaching, and now that I'm able to do a solo show for 1.5 hour with just a guitar,
mm,
and me using the loop station
mm,
and using the using music technology basically
mm.
for creating a one-man band, because obviously if I'm traveling I can't have one band.
Correct.
So so yeah, so teaching music has helped me learn a lot
Mm,
through my journey, and I see myself every day getting better and getting more ideas of how to improve myself as a musician through my students,
mm,
because I'm seeing them grow and develop with some of the ideas, and some ideas, of course, won't work. I know,
mm.
and that's fine. So I think that's the main difference, and that's the most precious takeaway for me from this profession,
Okay.
is that I'm still being able to rediscover and rediscover and explore myself
Mm.
through the eyes of those students.
Yeah.
That okay, if I would have done this mistake, or it's not sounding good,
Mm.
the student is doing something that even I didn't expect.
Correct.
So you have so many thinking minds in front of you and so many perspectives
Mm.
that it's a great learning atmosphere.
Correct. Okay.
So that is my biggest takeaway, I would say.
Okay.
But again, I would also say that teaching also gives me a lot of time, as in international schools
Mm.
there are quite a few holidays. So, the summer break, the winter break, and all these vacation, this holiday time gives me a lot of time to, produce my own music, write my own songs,
Mm.
record, release them.
Mm.
So, yeah, it's a great balance that I have been lucky to find,
Okay.
um, while still, being an artist and putting out my music regularly.
Mm.
And I think, yeah, I'll keep doing that.
Okay. So, thanks a lot for joining here, sir, and giving your precious time and sharing your
Welcome.
vast experience and knowledge here with me. Like, your knowledge is valuable for me as well as the people who are going to watch this podcast through our social media handles. That will be also valuable for him. So, once again, thank you for accepting my invitation and being present here, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
So much, Ayush. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
For more details, visit www.88studiolko.com.